Hello, my pina colada drinking extraordinaries. Welcome to another episode of the High Performance Consciousness Podcast. My name is Matthew Paddy, and again, I will be your host for today's episode, which is going to be rather enlightening. It may rustle your feathers, it may disturb your inner compass, all purposefully so that you can shift your state of being, shift your awareness, and shift your reality. So let's dive in. Now, I've presented what has been termed by my clients and attendees at my workshops as the Patty Pyramid. The Patty Pyramid. There are 4 levels to the pyramid, and you'll hear me refer to a pyramidal shape many times for a distinct reason, and none more other than this episode, where we're talking about the 4 realms of consciousness and how to influence your reality and shape your external life in accordance with your preferred expression, your preferred experiences. So let's dive in. Let's think about right now the base of the pyramid. And the key term here is life happens. But what comes after life happens will determine your frame of referencing, determine your state of being, and of course, determine the reality that you experience as a direct causative result. Okay? So let's start at the base of the pyramid. The base of the pyramid states unconsciously that life happens to me. Life happens to me. And we'll see this playing out in our own lives. We are all going to experience these 4 realms. It just depends on where and how much awareness we are using to place ourselves at one of the higher octaves, the higher realms of potential. So life happens to me typically is a victim-based consciousness. We've all been there. There's no judgment. It just is. So this is where, there's addiction, attachment, you tend to be a materialist, where you are observing everything outside of you as real. You're observing everything outside of you in the mundane world as being fixed in time. You are operating either from fear or survival, these very low bandwidths of potential. Because when we operate from fear, we are neurologically, biologically, and energetically wired to fear repulsion or fear and instinctual behavior resulting from that. Likewise with survival, we operate in a bandwidth of survival. So we feel like we need to fight for our life, fight for results, fight to be heard, fight to be seen, fight to be right, all these sorts of things. So typically at that first level, the base of the pyramid, life happens to me is a subconscious program. It is the BS USB stick that is firmly implanted in our neck at times. Yes, we can remove it, we can upgrade our operating system, and I will go deep into a future episode on this particular subject. So let's go back. Life happens to me. It means that everything outside of me is pressed against me. I am now reactive to my external world, to the opinions, to the thoughts, the feelings, the actions of others. I am reactive to the external world, and I give my power to the external world. So no wonder most people who operate in life happens to me struggle in living in hope. I live in hope that things will change. I live in hope that something, some way, at some stage will change for me. I don't know how, and I don't know when. So does this sound like anyone that you know? Maybe. At this level, time is very slow. At this level, time is very slow. You operate in a linear time frame, moving from point A to point B. Nothing much changes. Tomorrow looks very much like today, and today looks very much like yesterday, because no new thought, no new action, and no new feeling is introduced into your matrix, into your self, to create a new state of being. And for some, it can feel like hell. It can feel like the fire and brimstone of being stuck. Nothing is really happening, which is where feelings of anxiousness, fear, frustration, even overwhelm. You might end up feeling frustrated and to a point of shutting down. So you don't allow any new information to enter your field. You allow no new information. You're closed off from the outside world because you fear the outside world is secretly not giving you what you want. Okay, wow, that's quite big. We've all been there. You do not have to stay there. No way do you have to stay there. So let's rise to the occasion and rise to the opportunity and move to the next realm, that life happens for me. Life happens for me. Now, at this level, there are lessons that are observed. And you might think, well, life used to be like this for me. It used to be on rinse and repeat. I used to feel like I was a victim of my reality, a victim of other people, that I was a victim of life. And now I'm starting to take more accountability and responsibility for my life. And I'm observing my outside world as being, maybe I can start to appreciate what I'm experiencing, because as I appreciate what I experience and what I observe in my outer world, I can then make a choice because I'm coming from a higher vibration. Appreciation is higher than fear. Appreciation or gratitude is higher than stress or anger or frustration. Yes? Good. So at this level, time starts to speed up just that little bit more. But there's a trap. There's a trap here, because the unconscious mind will often say, deep down, is, I don't believe that I'm a full creator. I don't believe that I am here as the creator of my life. And if I do, then I will begin judging myself. I will judge myself that I caused that. It's my fault. These things didn't work. This launch didn't go as planned. I didn't do as well. And you start to beat yourself up about it. So we can slip between life happens to me at the base, or we can go up to the third realm, which is life happens for me, and I start to observe lessons. Now, here's the struggle, and this, I know that other personal development and human potential coaches, new thought authors, do often, or have often rather, broadcast that life happens for me to grow, for me to learn, for me to evolve, for me to whatever it is. And that is true. And yet it is still the trap, though. It's a trap because we can stay fixed in believing that life happens for me and that I still have no control or power or influence over my reality. Introduce realm number 2. Realm number 2 is life happens by me. You now start to observe, having been through realm 3, which is life happens for me, you're starting to observe patterns. And you think, wow, if I am the causative power in my life, in my business, I am the one creating the results that I experience and observe in my outside world, then now I'm taking greater responsibility for where I do place my attention and what I do give my attention to and give my energy to. So all of a sudden, I am now thinking and feeling that what can I give to the field by way of information, my electromagnetic signature, what can I give to the field so that it is returned to me multiplied? So your value of self increases when you observe and interact with your world through the premise that life happens by me. I hope this is making sense. Because quite often in life happens to me, realm 4, and life happens for me, realm 3, there is this undercurrent that says, what can I get? What can I hold on to? What can I attach myself to in order to feel better about myself, in order to keep my head above water, in order to make it from one day to the next, or one client to the next? Getting the point? So what can I give to the field is my premise at the level, the realm 2 of life happens by me. I am the creator. I am the operant power of my universe. I'm the operant power I am the compass as well as the captain. I am the propeller and the vessel, the ship, and the sails. I am all of that. So, as metaphorical as this is, that you are the one that creates your reality. Everything you see outside of you is the sum total of your thoughts, actions, and feelings from the past. Everything outside of you is history. And you might think, wow, I'm trapped in the past. Oh my God. No, at this level, you're starting to understand and appreciate that time is speeding up. So time speeds up to a point where it does not exist as a concept. And I'll explain that in a moment. So at realm 2, life happens by me. You are the creator. You are now looking at the outside world and going, well, that's preferred. I'll keep that and I'll want more of that. These experiences are unpreferred. I don't want those anymore. I'm not going to give attention and energy to those. But what I am going to give attention and energy to, as the creator of my life, as the creator of my reality, is getting clear on what I want to experience right now. Not waiting for clues to come to you, not waiting for permission, as I've said in other podcasts before. No one else will give you permission. Man, woman, dog, cat, adult, child, no one else will give you permission. Okay? It is you that gives yourself permission to want what you want, desire what you want, and to pursue your desired end, what you want to experience at the end. It's you. It's all you, baby. So at this level, time is starting to speed up. You're taking more accountable. You're more accountable and taking more responsibility. You're swallowing that big, hairy horse pill of responsibility and saying, this is me. My reality is me. And at this level, you're starting to really apply the knowledge that you've learnt at realm 3 in Life Happens For Me. So you're starting to apply the knowledge now, and you've got a greater level of appreciation, which now leads to a greater level of trust. I trust myself because all that I can see before me playing out in my outside world is a direct result of me, my thoughts, actions, and feelings. My state of being is the causative power of my external results. Wow, this is going deep. You guys have asked for it. I know most of you have emailed me and have said that you are binge listening to at least 4 or 5 episodes every single time. So that's why we're putting 2 episodes out every single week, so that you can go back over and re-listen to every single episode. And I mean every single episode, because I'm stringing them together to build your base, to build your conscious foundation so that you can rise to realm 1. Realm 1 is the higher octave. This premise is life happens through me. Life happens through me. So now that I understand and appreciate and embody that I am the creator of my reality at realm 2, I have greater levels of trust in my capabilities, because now I use little experiments in thinking, acting, and feeling a certain way or different ways, and I observe the results. And at realm 1, this is 5th dimension. So we've moved from the world of objects and things that's very slow and dense and heavy. It's a very linear process in the 3rd dimension. In realm 4, we are now ascending to the 5th dimension. The 5th dimension is unity. There is no other. It's you. It's all you, baby. You are the universe. This is the point of mastery. There is no time, because time, as I've said many, many times in previous episodes and presentations, masterclasses, private clients, time is irrelevant. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying it's irrelevant, because at the level of life happens through me, you are in the now, and you are understanding with greater levels of precision that what's required of you and what you require in order to enact upon your ideas and to fulfill your desires is all available to you right now. And you have expressed yourself in a different way through a new state of being. So your new state of being is now understanding that I am open to the influence of the quantum field. I'm open to experiencing new experiences from the unknown. Make sense? So in realm 4, when life happens to me in victim consciousness, I am trapped in the known. I fear anything that is not known. I must know in order to survive. Life happens for me at realm 3. You're starting to open up a little bit more, but you still have the tentacles of it and attachment to the third dimension. You're starting to understand now that life is happening for a reason, and that reason is so that you can wake up as the creator of your life and the causative power behind your results. Okay? So the fifth dimension operates now. Now. In previous episodes, I've spoken about all things exist simultaneously in the now. All things. So when you have an idea, or you have an idea that there are ideas that you have not yet had an idea about, meaning that there are limitless potential, infinite potential awaiting you in the field, and that everything is waveform, then you are appreciating more and more that life is very dynamic. It's liquid. It's fluent. It's not fixed. And so at the level of life happens through me, you are now choosing consciously, masterfully, where to place your attention. So can two realities exist simultaneously? Yes. Can more realities exist simultaneously? More than two? Yes. We can go into that in another episode, whether you want to call them timelines or whatever it may be. Quantum jumping. The key here is where you place your attention and where you invest your energy is what you will invariably experience. And what you invariably experience is the richness of now, is contained in the now moment. So you might think of, a memory of the past, something that brought you joy and fulfillment or love or excitement or awe or celebration. You are transported into that moment. That moment exists simultaneously in the now moment with everything else. And then you change your focus and you move yourself to the future. And you're starting to think, well, wouldn't that be great? I'd love to be on an island, beautiful sun, pina coladas, putting my feet in the sand and having this crystal clear ocean lap at my feet. You are now in that reality. At the fifth dimension and life happening through me, you understand that the longer I rest my awareness on my preferred experience, my preferred reality, I gift energy to that. And the quantum field folds itself around that as a potential. It folds itself around the collection of those potentials in order to collapse into a particle, into the world of matter to give you the experience. Does that make sense? So this is a little bit of a mind warp, and but I really hope that you can go back over and re-listen to this episode several times so that you understand that there are 4 realms of consciousness. There are 4 realms of creation. One is life happens to me, the victim consciousness that we've all experienced at some point of our life that operates in a very slow linear bandwidth. Nothing changes. You are frozen in time. Your state of being is frozen all the way up through to realm 1, which is unity consciousness, that you are all the experiences. Everything outside of you is pushed out from you energetically based on your intentionality. Whew. Wow. Let that sit. Let that sit with you. And do not judge yourself for moving up and down those realms. If you drop into realm 4 of victim consciousness, life happens to me, then you might move up to life happens by me at realm 2, and then down to realm 3 at life happens for me, and then back up to realm 1, life happens through me. All of these are experiences to give you feedback. Awareness is the key. Are you aware of your awareness? Are you aware of your experiences? Are you aware of the information that you are observing through your senses? And if you are, then you can make a decision to change should you desire it. Because we are not here to suffer. We are not here to suffer life. We are here to live life, to experience life, to express life, and to create life. That is our function. As an instrument of consciousness, you are here to create. So go and create. Have a phenomenal day. From me here to wherever you are in the world. Dream a better dream. And remember, it's all you, baby. See you in the field. Field.